Okay, so in the last session, we were visualizing the yin yang um, in front of us in sort of this plane. I don't know what you would call it. Let's call this the parallel, as it's parallel to our chest plane. The yin yang parallel to our chest plane. So we were doing the movement this way. We did one hand right here. So if we were to shift yin yang, and now it's perpendicular to our chest, then now you can't really see but a line. Maybe you can see a ring, right? From this perspective, right? However, if I shift, rotate, now you can see the circle, right? So we're gonna be working on this plane, but we're gonna be visiting Tai Chi ball theory. Remember, with Tai Chi ball theory, there's an external ball that is moved by the internal ball, right? So that means that, Wu Ji is also in the Dantian. Tai Chi comes through Dantian, spine, arms, and then Yin Yang manifests in the hands. So Yang now is going to be moving out. Yin, so Yang is going to be up, out, down. Yin is going to be down, out, up, and return. So there's sort of a coming in, and there's an expression, expanding out for yin and yang. S, we can use 12 and 6 o'clock. If you feel comfortable, then I want to invite you to use the 3 o'clock and the 3 o'clock and what else? 9 o'clock. 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock to transition. So we were transitioning at 12 o'clock, drawing our S, right? But we can also transition at 9. You can really transition anywhere, right? It's a free S pattern. You can shift that S anywhere along the clock, if you will, right? But let's first start off on 12 and 6 o'clock and then see if 3 and 9 o'clock is going to work. Okay. Let's first start with 2 hands, and we're going to use our fingers. We're actually going to use our fingers. Remember last time we were drawing the circles with our fingers, but just a little bit of a point in the index finger, a little bit of point in the index finger, as if you're sort of painting the pattern, if you will, right? Yeah. So we're going to start off with yang circles, right? Easy to draw a circle with the hands, yes. Easy to draw um, a picture, with the finger. But let's return and visit Qigong, the Qigong principles, and also the Tai Chi ball principle as well, in that the movement manifests through the body, but originates, in the Dantian. So see if you can facilitate the movement through the body and out into the hands, manifesting in the fingers at the very, very end. And it's almost like that. It's the iceberg analogy as well, right? The fingers are just the tip of the iceberg, where you have all of this other movement preceding. Also regulating the breath. So inhale, coming in, yin, exhale, going out, yang. So each time the hands come down, that's a restart, right, of the cycle. That's again a rebirth. Each time the circle grows to its max, it reaches its growth phase and then starts its death phase, if you will. And then the rebirth, inhaling and exhaling. So let's play a little bit with the spiral, okay? So we're drawing the circle, but let's play a little bit the spiral, and I'll show you a little bit what I mean. So as we start the movement down, with the hands down, let's grow the circles, if that makes sense to you. Grow the circles using the spiral energy. So movement originating from the dantian, and with the spiral energy, growing the circles larger and larger. Till eventually you are fully expanded, fully expressed. And then let's just bring that back in, bring it back down through that same incremental um, process. So we'll reverse. Now we'll go yin. So reverse the circle. Circles are at their max. And then we're going to slowly bring it back in. Circles getting smaller, spiraling in. And then eventually you're at Uji, so you're at stillness. And then we'll start growing it again. Yang circles incrementally getting larger, spiraling out. And then we're going to do another return back to Wuji with yin circles. Once your circles have grown to their max, go ahead and reverse the circle. You can reverse the circle using the S if you like to change directions, starting at 12 o'clock, drawing half the S, and now reversing. Yin circles now. Remember, try to coordinate with the breath. And take time to feel, sense, and step into Wuji, step into stillness. And then we're going to create the process again. So the way that I begin is first I'll bend my knees and sink my weight. So I'm creating the full body movement. And then from there, I initiate the wave from the abdomen, from the tailbone, closing spine, and then spine wave through the shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand, finger. And that begins the process. And then now just keep it at a nice, comfortable, what would you say, diameter of circle that you are comfortable with. Now we're going to start switching from yin to yang to yin, using the S, either 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So yang circles here. And on my next circle, I'm going to initiate the S at 12 o'clock. So I'll reach 12 right here, draw half an S, pass through center, other half of the S. And now the large circle, I have transitioned to the yin phase. I'm going to do that again. Next circle at 12 o'clock, drawing half an S, pass through center, other half. And now large circle for yang circle. See if we can switch at 6 o'clock. So on the next circle, 6, draw half the S, pass through center, other half. Now we're yin circles. Again, switching at 6 o'clock. Drawing half an S, pass through center, large circle, yang circles. Let's return to Wuji, the yin circle. So we'll do one more transition. See if you can transition at the 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Yin circles now and spiraling in back to Wuji. And we're just setting into Wu Ji here for a second, a few breath cycles. Now we're going to go to one hand. So we're going to put one foot forward. Maybe start with your dominant hand. Remember the process. First sink the weight, knees bent. So you feel the buoyancy, you feel the legs supporting the torso. From there, remember our rocking strategy, utilizing the tailbone. So initiate tailbone, engage tailbone with same thing, small spiraling energy and movement to begin the rocking backward and forward, essentially, drawing a circle in the tailbone, in the pelvis to facilitate the rocking back and forth. So it's a different experience drawing the yin yang symbol, in this plane, but it's nice because it supports um, Taiji ball theory, and it also reinforces the spinal wave as a mechanism of manifestation. So one hand on the side for balance, or the other hand on the side for balance, or you can have it at the abdomen for breath regulation. And so if you feel comfortable, then go ahead and practice the yang circles, practice the yin circles, um, switch, transition at any moment, any time, if you will. Um, just remember, try to keep the internal ball connected to the external ball. So the abdomen steers the hand and finger. Let the abdomen steer the hand and finger. Additionally, you can um, you can chain together transitions. So you can transition once, transition again, and then you get the infinity symbol, vertical or horizontal if you're transitioning at 3 and 9 o'clock. And I also want to encourage you to switch legs and hands at any time. and always look for more softness. Always look for more softness and releasing, um, essentially releasing of unneeded tissues, unneeded um, muscular strain, if you will. So only doing what's required by the movement. Don't forget to coordinate the breath with the movement. I'm going to switch legs. And notice how you can use like a quick undulation or a quick spinal wave to transition and change course or transition from yin phase to yang phase. Because the hand is connected to the dantian, dantian's doing the steering, so it takes almost a change in rhythm, if you will, when you're changing phases. Now, take a moment and let's see how deep we can go in terms of relaxation, semi sleep state. So let's close the eyes and we'll focus on elongating the breath and really slowing down in movement, slowing down in breath. If you're closing the eyes, then I want to encourage you to use the second hand for balance. And now just focus on relaxation. See how relaxed you can feel in the movement. Notice the weight of the body and the sensation of the weight of the body, say in the feet or in the legs. And as you're relaxing, almost really close to, stillness, try to get a sense of where the movement is originating from, the deepest of roots in terms of where the movement is originating. Now you're also observing the body, noticing where the blockages are, where the movement seems to hiccup at. Be conscious of the movement moving through. See if you can smoothen out those edges, those hiccups there. Maintain this relaxed state. Let's go ahead and bring the feet together. Let's do a few repetitions, a few large circles, doesn't matter which direction, as we come back to center and back into Wu-Ji. I recommend doing yin circles if you're returning. Continue to move as slow as you can, promoting deep relaxation. And now bring these movements smaller and smaller, spiraling in. Back into Wu-Ji. Letting it set in. Okay. To finish off the session today, we're going to again change the plane. Again, we're going to change the plane. So we had a perpendicular plane to the chest. Now we're going to go, what are we going to do? Parallel to the ground. Parallel to the ground. So now we're going to, this is going to really utilize, make use of the waist and rotation of the waist. So we'll start with right. Yeah, so I'll mirror you. Start with right hand, I'll mirror you. And we're going to draw the circle. Try to think about what's going to be yang and what's going to be yin. Change direction. So here I really want you to hone in on that feeling of connection from dantian to finger. Notice how when you rotate and when you turn the waist, that's really facilitating the movement of the hand and finger. And if you feel comfortable, go ahead and transition from yin to yang. Draw your S. Helps to visualize it first. Draw your S and change direction. Now, for the sake of Tai Chi, I want to give you a little bit of an adjustment and a suggestion in terms of the arm and hand posture. Okay, arm and hand posture. So I'm doing yang circles here, and what I want to show you is when yang starts to grow, when your hand is close into your body. I want to show you the ideal posture for Tai Chi movement. So the palm is up and you have a roundness in the arm and a roundness all the way down to the finger. From there, as the waist rotates, that posture continues out until the arm extends, and then here the palm faces down. So you bring the hand back in. Here you close chest, close spine, and then you position the arm almost as if you're, holding a baby, and then continuing to rotate, extending, palm then facing down. Yeah, this is going to really lend to Tai Chi form and Tai Chi application. Should feel nice, calm, and relaxing. Okay, let's go ahead and do some repetitions on the other side with the other arm. And really try to get a feeling of connection from the feet to the hand, especially when that uh, yang starts to grow. When the hand is at the dantian, yang is growing, and then it transitions. You're almost like doing a large sweep across. Feel that connected to the feet. And then as you come in, sweeping in, feel that connected to the feet as well. It's not necessarily a perfect, circle. It's more of like an ellipse that you're drawing. Take a second with a few repetitions, really try to harmonize the breath with the movement, noticing the transition and the shifting, and try to time your inhalation and exhalation with the transition from yin to yang. Let's go ahead and bring it back to Wu Ji. If you want, you can use the yin pattern. the yin phase, start to spiral in. Relaxing the hands down, arms down. Pausing here in stillness, a few breath regulations. You can continue to regulate the breath if you like. Otherwise, you're just going to let it go and simply observe it. We'll take a deep breath as we prepare to do the final pattern for today. So we're going to work in the same plane. And now we're going to alternate hands. So I'm going to turn, draw a yang circle. And as that yang circle is completing, I'm going to engage the other hand because I'm going to alternate hands and engage both hands. So as one's growing, one is ceasing to exist. Both hands, and this might be familiar, actually. Similar to picking the peach. Yeah, just a different plane, of movement. So both hands are moving at the same time. One is in its yin phase as you turn, the other is in its yang phase as you turn. And then here, I want to encourage you to practice a little bit of hip mobility. So as you continue to turn, slowly sinking the weight, bending the knees. Still maintaining upright posture. Slow, smooth, continuous, and breath regulation. So interestingly now, as we're drawing our circles, we are in a two-dimensional plane parallel to the ground. However, once we start to sink the weight and rise from a squatted position, it now becomes a three-dimensional pattern. And then we start to revisit our hip mobility exercises in the infinity drill within the hips. And just for kicks and giggles, let's see if we can reverse this pattern. So we're drawing yang circles, alternating hands. Let's see if we can reverse that. Yin circles. And so for this pattern, my recommendation is to keep the palms facing up. And just draw your attention to the manifestation of this movement in that this would be a root movement for crane shaking its wings or crane loosening its wings in the Four Seasons Qigong set. Let's go ahead and bring the circles in, back to Wuji, spiraling in. Good opportunity to close the eyes as well. Internalize your observation. Relaxing arms, hands down. Again, settling into Wuji. And that completes our session for today.